value for my team? How do I get someone that fits? And people are willing to do it all across the board. And obviously, we didn't have a quarterback go, but we had a number of quarterbacks go ahead of him.
Yeah.
Talk about Shedeur Sanders. I'm not trying to get you there, but that has been a big part of the story tonight.
Yeah, I think, what's interesting, you talk about when we evaluate outside of these rooms, these organizations, we just evaluate players. And we watch tape and we evaluate their play on the football field. But a big part of the evaluation for these NFL organizations is the player and the person. And tonight for Shedeur Sanders, this is a time for some deep self-reflection because his play on the field would suggest that he should already have been selected. I think we would all agree with that theory, in particular in this quarterback class. There were some quarterbacks that their play on the field, probably doesn't warrant a selection over his play on the field. Now, having said that, was his play perfect? No, it wasn't. There's some things that he needs to clean up. There's no doubt about it. The reason he is undrafted at this point is because of the person that sat with those teams and did not, for whatever reason, gel with them. And that's the self-reflection, because this process is all about selling yourself and trying to put yourself in the best possible position to go as high as you possibly can. And, Shedeur tweets out, "Thank you, God, for everything." And again, I'll just go back to this, Rich. I think it is a night for deep self-reflection for Shedeur Sanders about what he was bringing to the table.
I just see a league, though, that goes ahead and takes people with red flags like it's an amusement park about things that you wouldn't want to touch somebody with a 10-foot pole, but we'll take that person because they're really talented.
Well,
and in this case, what?
Let me push back on that.
Because he interviewed badly, because
let me push back
he didn't. Okay, go for it.
I would just say quarterback is different because of what Ian talked about earlier in the night in terms of once you get past the point where you're drafting for a starter and you're drafting for a backup, now that red flag or issue becomes a story and a narrative. And now the camera and the microphone is in the backup quarterback's locker. No organization in football wants the microphone and camera in the backup quarterback's locker.
But that's also maybe part and parcel of a head coach not being able to control the narrative. I mean, Bill Belichick would put velvet ropes around any cameras, anything, and then that would be completely removed. If the Pittsburgh Steelers chose Shedeur Sanders, what do you think? Mike Tomlin's suddenly going to have the narrative consume his locker room? No, there's somebody like Cam Hayward in there and TJ Watt in there and a whole bunch of veterans that can absolutely handle this sort of thing. So I don't kind of buy that. The one thing that I do want to push back on as well, or at least get your thoughts on, is the narrative that I'm seeing everywhere, that there are league folks who are trying to teach the Sanders family a lesson. I'm sure.
I know where you're coming from.
Go for it.
No, I absolutely know.
Because that is a narrative that's being talked about.
I absolutely know where
now.
you're coming from, because the thought that entered my mind tonight is, if I'm Shedeur Sanders sitting wherever you are right now, and this has not happened, you can't help but start to think it's personal. Like this people have decided collectively to come get me. And I can speak about that from experience. I've encountered a few things in my life where I started to think, oh, this is absolutely personal. You've come for me. It is a hard battle to fight your way through, especially when you are sitting there hurting and you know you're supposed to be picked by your talent and you haven't. So I wish you luck with that one, young man, because you're going to feel it. I'm not sure that's entirely true, but it's going to be hard for you to dispel that narrative until, as Joel said, you get that chance, get to the starting line and start to run your race again. I hope he gets that opportunity starting tomorrow.
Wherever Shedeur comes, wherever he goes, I love the saying, it's not where you get drafted, it's what you do once you get there. And I understand the competitor. I understand the competitor that he is. And wherever he goes, wherever he goes, if it's a team that doesn't have one of the elite superstar quarterbacks, his competitive nature is going to kick in, and there's a chance that he can beat those quarterbacks out, despite whatever odds or collusion they have against Dad. When he gets a chance, he's going to show him. I know that. Just the competitor in him, he's not going to hold his head. He's not going to let it down. He just wants that opportunity. And once they open that door and he closed it behind him, after they playing the game they played these past 2 days, man, child, please.
said, and like I said, I heard people say, well, I mean, he's extremely confident, but his game doesn't match the confidence. Coach Prime, whatever. Look, and I don't know if anybody that's selected now was even in the NFL or selected or in a position when Prime was there. So I don't know how I wouldn't, guys. I don't want to make this teams gonna. Ocho, you and I played this game. We've covered this game and we've been around this game a long time. These teams gonna do what the hell they want to do.
Okay, every
now
time.
They done told y'all ain't gonna make us have this guy at quarterback or have this guy as a coach. We gonna do what the F we want to do.
Right.
They're gonna select who they want to select, and they believe that, hey, we believe the guy, and they'll tell you, we believe Dylan Brooks is better than Shedeur. We believe Jackson Dart. We believe Shook. We believe Milroe. We believe their upside is better than Shedeur. How do we prove that it's not? Round of the draft. But today, rounds 2 and 3 has passed, and Shedeur Sanders hasn't been selected. 102 picks, 5 quarterbacks selected. Cam Ward went number 1 overall. No surprise there. We knew that once he had his workout, they canceled all other official visits. That told me everything I needed to know. Boom. Now, Jackson Dart, Tyler Shuck, Jalen Milroe, Dylan Gabriel. Now, for context, I want to provide context, Ocho, because that's what we like to do here. Daniel Jeremiah had Shedeur, the second-ranked quarterback, 4 days ago. Cam Ward was the 8th overall best player. Shedeur was the 20th best overall player. Jackson Dart, the 36th overall best player. Tyler Shuck, 75th overall best player. Jalen Milroe, 86th. Dylan Gabriel, 148. Mel Kiper Jr., the guru, just 4 days ago, had Shedeur ranked over Cam Ward. He had Shedeur as the 5th best player, Cam Ward as the 6th best player, Jackson Dart as the 28th best player, Tyler Shook, 46th. Pro Football Focus had him second behind Cam Ward just yesterday morning. But we saw today Cam Ward went first. The Giants traded back into the first round, Ocho, to take Jackson Dart at 25th. Tyler Shook went 40 to the Saints, and we thought there Shedeur could possibly be 9 to the Saints there. Nope, they take Tyler Shook. Jalen Milroe, 92nd overall to the Seattle Seahawks, and Dylan Gabriel, 94th to the Browns. Now, they were talking about, well, Shedeur arm, you're outside in Cleveland.
Don't start that shit. No,
I don't know. And I know I'm going to turn it over to you, Ocho, because I know Joe got questions. I'm going to turn it over to you. I'm going to say this before I do, Ocho. In all my years that I go back to really following the draft and understanding where players are getting drafted, back in 87, in almost 40 years, I've never seen anything like this.
I've never seen nothing like this myself. Obviously, I know I only played a short time, but I've been around long enough to know. Obviously, the 11, 12 years I did play, and all the time I've been retired and enjoying the game and watching it from afar and understanding how good players are, regardless of what scouts may say. The eye in the sky doesn't lie. I watched Shedeur play from high school to college at Jackson State to what he was able to do at Colorado. I want everybody to understand that you're never bigger than the program. You'll never be bigger than the program no matter who you are. And they will show you, they will always remind you at any given time, if at any point you think you are bigger than the program. And that is all we're seeing. That's all we're seeing right now. Joe, that is all we are seeing right now, regardless of who you are. There's some things I think Prime might have said, I don't want to quote it, but where he said it similar to.
There's some places I don't want to go. We're not going to go.
Bingo. What Archie Manning said when it came to Eli. Same thing. No different. Anyway, I got something today I really want to read. Chad, I want you to listen to me real quick. I'm not here to stir up. I'm happy for everybody that got drafted. I want you to listen to something that was sent to me on Instagram. Chad, y'all stay with me real quick and just listen to me very, very closely. What we are witnessing once again is the machinery of a system that has never quite known what to do with a free black man, much less than a free black family. The NFL, with all its pageantry and power, finds itself uncomfortable, even threatened, when the likes of the Sanders family walk into a room, not asking for a seat at the table, but daring to bring their own. Deion, Shedeur, this family has refused to shrink to fit the confines laid out for them. And so the machine does what it has always done. It seeks to diminish, to distort, to remind them and us that there is still a place for black folk. It is not at the head of the table. But in tragedy, you see, it's not in their refusal to bow, but is in the nation's fear of black excellence unchained. The fear that has always been the real danger, not the power of our stride, but the shadow we cast when we stand upright, unafraid, and unapologetically ourselves. Come on now. Come on.
Shedeur even got prank called by someone pretending to be from an NFL team and said, have to wait a little longer. Man, whoever did this, man, y'all some clowns, bro.
Out of pocket. Man.
I don't even know why you would do that. I mean, at that moment, guys on edge, and you're just hoping that you get a call. That's the call you're really hoping that you get.
Yeah.
Obviously, you want to get it as early as you possibly can, but and then somebody play it on the phone.
Hello?
He got that call.
Yeah, what's going on?
Way to go!
Say it one more time for me.
This is Mickey Loomis here, GM of the Saints.
How you doing?
Good, how are you, man?
Good, been waiting on you.
Way to go!
Yeah, we have. It's been a long wait, man.
No, for sure.
We're going to take you with our next pick right here, man.
Yeah. Yes, sir, let's be legendary.
But you're going to have to wait a little bit longer, man.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Way to go!
What does that mean?
What? What did he say?
I don't know.
How you gonna ask us what it mean and you was on the phone?
You heard that?
You said you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer.
Sorry. Man, he just got trolled, bro. They tripping now, fam. Now I'm gonna crash out, bro.
It is what it is. They said we're gonna tell you what the next trip, but you gotta wait a little bit longer.
Man, that's the craziest shit out
Can you look up the GM name?
Yeah, I'm about to look it up. Some crazy shit. Like, nobody got that number but coaches, strictly for that reason.